Alright, check out this welding table that VEVOR sent us. We are going to be talking a little bit about this. Now, while I'm not a welder, I do know a little bit about tables. You know, they got 4 legs, there's usually some kind of top. And anything else after that is just a bonus as far as I'm concerned. We're going to check out the, I'm kidding you guys, but we're going to check out the capacity of this. They say it can hold up to 400 pounds. I can't imagine that you would ever need to put 400 pounds on this, but for starters, what we're going to do, we're going to get into the features here pretty soon, but I'm going to lock this really tight and just climb up on here for you guys so we can see what this thing's all about. And we'll give it a couple of jumps, and we're going to jump off carefully. Alright, this is our VEVOR welding table, and we've got the first portion of it built. I just wanted to show you how the holes line up. So you got 2 down here, that's going to be for the wheels. And then you got 1 up here and 1 here on this side, and that's for a cross member that goes across. And that's the cross member there. And that's the other cross member, so that's what we're looking at there. And that's just something to help you out while you're building this. You can see that it's able to fold. And keep in mind you want the silver facing in. So it goes like this. And you have the red side facing out. And the nuts go facing in. And then these face opposite sides. So it looks like alright, so now we're putting the brackets on the side of this with the wing bolts. And then there's going to be another bracket that goes here that gets screwed from the bottom, from the top to the bottom. And then there's a pivoting kind of curved piece that goes right here. Alright, so we're just about ready to put the tabletop on. We're going to put these on first, set the table on top, and then put these into these threaded inserts. I still chose not to put the wheels on. I stay sturdy. We haven't tightened anything yet, and it's pretty sturdy. Seems like it's pretty good. You got to remember, it's just steel. That's about 200 pounds up there. And also, we were standing on this thing. This thing could have pivoted and just destroyed me at any point. So, a little bit extra bonus points there. So, the features. With it unlocked, this thing slips down there. And it can actually fold up. And then it doesn't take up very much room in your shop. Which is a pretty nice feature. This is built a lot sturdier than the Harbor Freight one. I don't know if I would have climbed on top of the Harbor Freight one, to be honest. I felt pretty good about this when I built this whole thing. And everything seems like it's pretty strong. So we know it tilts, but it also, you pull these cotter pins out that it comes with here and here. We can unlock this. On its lowest setting, we're looking at about 28 inches tall on the top of the table. That's going to be the last hole there, so we'll leave that right there. Tighten that side. I like how they lock like this, so once you lift them up, they can slide out. And at this height, this is up to 38 inches. So you get about 10 extra inches of rise on the highest setting there. You got a couple of slots for your whatever you can use your imagination for here. Let me show you probably my favorite part about this whole table. We're going to take one of these screws out here. And look at that. The placement of all the holes, the way that everything lines up is just some of the highest precision that I've ever seen for a $70 table. I'll pull out this one actually. Pull out this one. And you can just see nothing's cross-threaded. Everything fits just amazing. Which means if you wanted to put a different table on this, if you want to put a wood table on this, for example, get a little bit more space, whatever you wanted to do, you could just take this table, turn it upside down your wood, match all these holes, and put any tabletop you want to onto this. Think about it. It's pretty cool. Comes with a little handle, nothing special, just nuts on both sides with a washer. But it does work really well. I've got it locked fairly tight, so you can stand on it. We showed you how sturdy the thing is. It's really sturdy. Definitely 200 pounds, easy, no problem. I hope you can see that on camera. This thing is very sharp. I just sliced my nail with it. Luckily I had a long fingernail and it didn't get me. But whenever I was turning this, I rolled that down into there, and this thing is sharp. So we'll consider ourselves lucky today. That brings me to my next point. This thing is fairly sharp. So even this is like kind of sharp. So just keep in mind that you do get what you pay for. But for what you get, it's an excellent value. Just get you a grinder, grind these down a little bit. They're not like sharp, but in the right angle, just like that oddball situation, this thing could get you pretty bad. And whenever I was building this, it was one of my first concerns about trying not to cut myself while building this. Now that it's all together, you know, I was going to say that it's fairly safe, but obviously it's still pretty sharp. All of these pop up all the way around. That way if you're welding on something, you're pushing on something, if you pull this up here and you lock it like that, when you're working on something, you have something to push up against. You have something that you can clamp your ground to here, and then there's holes here so you can clamp whatever you're working on while you're welding on it. I'm actually going to remove these. I think that they're just a hazard in my shop, and I don't intend on using this as a welding table personally. I think that it could be useful, and it is a nice feature if you are going to be welding. I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cut some 45s and miter this around with some oak or something, and then reinstall these back in and have a nice little border of wood around this thing. That sounds really cool for me. It's very, very versatile though. All the threads, everything just lines up really, really well. So there's the threads there. You can see the threaded inserts. Everything's fairly clean on it. This thing did not come greasy. I'm trying not to cut myself doing it. So it's not all the way through the cardboard, but you can see that it does start to cut. So it's not like razor status, But even this lip down here, pretty sharp. Not all the way through, but enough to get you. Not a factor for me. I'm going to modify this. Expect to file these off with your grinder, whatever you got to do to make this thing safe. Edges are rolled nicely. They're not too sharp on the corners. That's very acceptable. Not an issue for me. It doesn't grab. It doesn't hook. It doesn't... Here's my shirt here. It's not going to catch you. If you have this on, this is going to catch. I'm not going to do this to my shirt. I like this shirt. I've already made my point here. I think we're pretty much covered everything except for welding on this. Sorry guys, you're not going to see me weld on this, but you can use your imagination. You can see that it's a very solidly built table. For the price, I really don't think you can go wrong. All in all, except for that this thing is pretty sharp. For 70 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong. And plus the fact that you can switch this tabletop out and put a wood one on if you want, and everything just lines up just amazing. It really does. This thing is very versatile. I think that it's a great value. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.